me.
Reza, help me understand. Your news organization was able to obtain documents of Qatari officials speaking with members of the Iranian regime about which Iranians were going to attend the World Cup games. How did you come to find this information?
So there is a Black Rewards hackers group that they are hacked the Fars News Agency website. You know, Fars News Agency is IRGC-backed website and news agency in Iran. So this Black Rewards group hacked this website and gave us the documents that obtained with Iran, to Iran International, that Iranian government and Qatari government were in close relationship and coordinating things to do not let Iranians who are against the regime to get into Qatar during the World Cup. So there is an audio file that there is a IRGC, Islamic Revolutionary Guard, are in a meeting with the I would say the hardliners and the newspapers very close to Iran. They're in a meeting, and this audio file, you can see the General Qureshi, one of the generals in IRGC, speaking and telling these group of reporters that Qatari government giving the list of the people, Iranian people who were bought the tickets to get into Qatar. He is mentioning 5,330 Iranians who are against the regime are willing to travel to Doha, and among them there are 500 of them well-known opposition of Iranian regime who were traveling to Doha. With this evidence that provided by this hackers group and obtained by Iran International, this is the first evidence that shows that Qatari government and Islamic Republic of regime are in a close relation to not let Iranians who are against the regime to get into Doha.
Okay, so let's try and understand. So the Iranians obtained this information from the Qataris, and then they exchanged, these are the guys we want you to watch, these are the people that we're worried about. What did the Iranians want the Qataris to do if those individuals attended the games or waved flags that the regime wouldn't like or wore T-shirts that they didn't like?
So, Natasha, let me explain this to you like this. Both on the first and second and also the third match of Iran's national team during the World Cup, especially on the second match on Ahmad bin Ali Stadium against Wales, we saw many Iranians with the T-shirts and also the flags with the lions and sun, which is not the Islamic regime's original flag, which is the opposition flag that they are taking, or also the red, white, and green flag, which is without Allah in the middle, which is Islamic Republic of Iran's flag. When they were trying to bring it in, the Qatari government, they are barred them. We have reports that many of the people who were wearing or they were like chanting, they were detained for a few hours in the Qatari police officer with the police officers, and that's why we know that there are pressures on Iranians who were willing to do something, to be the voice of Iranian people inside Iran and show the world in this massive and this major event in Doha that Iranian people are dying in the streets.
Reza, we can completely understand the motivation of the Iranian officials not wanting these protesters to be public and have that international platform. But why did the Qataris agree to this exchange of information? What's in it for Qatar?
So I am not a politician, but Qatar and Iran they do have a very good relationship together. I would say it's very close, and they call each other brothers, neighbors. There is a Persian Gulf in between, not very far away from each other. And if you remember, during this all the time that Qatari government didn't have a very good relation, or at least no relation with other Arab nations around them. Iranian government were the only countries had the good relations. They were exporting the goods that Qatari government needed. And also, don't forget that Persian Gulf is there, plenty of energy resources in the Persian Gulf that Qatari government are using it and Iranian are not.
Is the Iranian regime, to your knowledge, trying to solicit information like this at other events internationally? Are they looking at who's going to baseball games in the United States or going to hockey games in Canada? Is this something that they're regularly doing?
Well, I think the main thing is Iranians were looking for World Cup because Iran's national team were inside the World Cup. So that was a very big event for them. And I would say, Natasha, they were very, very lucky that Qatar was hosting that event. If this happened in South Korea, in Japan, in Central Europe, in Canada, in America, none of these things would happen because none of these countries will let Iranian to see the tickets, see the visas. I mean, you know, there is an entry visa for everyone to get into Doha for the World Cup, which is called Hayakat. So none of the other countries that I can say, for example, Canada, if you will be the host, one of the host nations of the World Cup, next World Cup, I am pretty sure the Canadian government or U.S. government or Mexican government will not provide the list of the Iranian people who will travel to this. So they were looking at this as a dangerous place for supporters of the anti-regime Iranian regime who is traveling to Doha. So Iranians will definitely use this platform as a voice of Iranian people. So they were looking at this event, and I said that they were very lucky that Qatari was very host. So if I want to say they were looking to go, people going to baseball game, no. In Canada, hockey game, no, because there is no Iranian team in there. Iranian football team is very famous for Iranian people used to love, at least I can say, used to love their national teams. So plenty of people, as I mentioned, many Iranian, at least what the general of the Revolutionary Guard said, nearly 5,500 anti-regime supporters bought the ticket to get into Doha.
Okay. It is a disturbing picture you're painting, but I'm glad that you were able to cover it for us and the rest of us got to know about it. Reza Mohadis, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.